of Preachers Exes Podcast. Let me tell y'all, this lady right here, Patricia Van Hook,
Yes,
is part of the success of Preachers Exes reality TV show. Back in, I'm going to say about 7, 8 years ago, she was
yes,
part of the cast in South Carolina to help us get this engine started. So if
yes.
you go on our TikTok page, right, you will see her on that page. If you go on Facebook, you'll see her on that page talking about, and he was looking at her coochie.
Girl, from the pulpit.
Oh my God, Trish, like literally, how have you been?
I've been well. I've been so good. Well, it took a minute after
Okay.
the divorce and those things, to get back to myself.
Okay.
But I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You've always been so polished, like just polished and beautiful and just everything. And even as I dive back and I look at those cuts and things,
Yeah.
like you just had that it girl thing.
Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you.
Yes, take it, take it, take it, take it all, honey, take it all. So why was the divorce so difficult from your quote unquote preacher husband? And that's why we're here,
Yeah.
of course, Preachers Exes podcast.
Yeah. I think because oftentimes we hold people, to a different standard, and some things you just don't expect. So it becomes pretty devastating. And, I try not to be negative because,
Okay.
I think of the, we always say, men are dog kind of things. But
Hmm.
then I always use the analogy that, when you take a dog outside to do its business, the first thing it does is smells for a familiarity,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I believe that, the crazy in him was attracted to the crazy in me. You know,
Okay. Are you, oh, wait a minute, girlfriend? Are you still crazy?
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not. I'm
Okay.
on the other side of it. I'm on the other side of it. It feels really, really good.
Okay.
But, I think everything in life kind of prepares us for kind of where we are today. So I'm grateful for the experience. Even
Okay.
though, even the good, the bad, the ugly,
Okay.
it all, gets us to where we are today. So I'm not mad at it.
And you know what? To be honest, it really does get us to where we are today. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
it's just a part of our journey and
Yes,
preordained by God. I don't know if you believe like that.
I
Uh,
do.
okay. Okay.
I,
Okay.
I do because I think until you go through something, you don't have a voice, right? And I
Yes.
think I think that as a result of that, God really birthed something within me, right?
Okay.
I have something to say to somebody because of, my experience and what I went through.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back in time, right? And I know you used to be, I think, married to a Muslim first,
Engaged.
engaged, and then
Yes.
it was the preacher.
Yep.
Okay, see, okay,
You
okay,
got
okay,
it.
okay.
You got it.
Okay, okay. So
You got
how'd
it.
you go from one to the other? Because most people would say, like, but you're a Muslim and now you're marrying a Christian man, or like, how does
Yeah.
that go? How'd you get from one to the other?
So I've always been a Christian,
Okay.
right? Um, but I met this man and he was everything, right? And then it turned out he was a Muslim minister,
Okay.
not just a Muslim, but a Muslim,
Okay.
a minister in the Nation of Islam, right?
Wow.
Um, yeah. So there were rules to this thing,
Okay.
right? you didn't just get to do all the things, right?
Okay.
Um,
Do all the
and
things
so
as in what? Sex?
yeah, you have to have escorts when you go out to dinner.
Oh God.
Um, yeah, you sit in the back seat of the car. You don't get, yeah, so there were levels to the thing. Everybody said, "Oh my God, you're crazy. What are you doing?"
Okay.
Um, but at some point it made it made sense. You don't want to bring down the man of God. You don't want to tempt them. You sitting in
Okay.
the car, I'm rubbing his hand, his leg, all of that,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But you
Okay.
can't do all of that from the back seat. And so,
You can rub
um,
his shoulder like, yeah, baby, I'm gonna get that. Ah!
absolutely, absolutely.
Were you
But
doing that, church? Were you doing that?
girl, I can't tell it all. I just can't tell it all.
Oh, girl, tell it all. We on the podcast. We on the podcast.
you know, uh,
Yeah.
I would whisper in his ear some things. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot
Okay.
about love,
Okay.
without all the distractions.
Okay.
When we get to relationships, there are so many distractions.
Yes.
There's and sex is one of those things that can take you to another level,
Mm-hmm.
even when you're prepared to go to the next level.
Yes.
Emotionally. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. Girl, I totally agree. Like I don't tell people what to do with their bodies, right?
Right. Right.
But I tell young people especially, just wait a little bit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Get to know the person, the character, their values, all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
before you make that commitment in that way. Because, like you just said, your emotions become so heightened
Yes.
after, sexual intimacy.
Yes, yes. And the Bible talks about, that's how you become one. He came
Hmm.
upon her, right?
Okay.
And so you really become one in spirit with that person once you take it to that level.
Yes.
And I just learned so much
Okay.
holding back from that. Um, I started thinking like Lord, I'm not one of those girls that said I'm going to grow up and marry a preacher.
Right,
That
right.
that that was not on my agenda. But then God had to reveal to me like, hey, you're a man of God. Why would you not be attracted to the man of God, right?
Okay.
So I don't want anybody to think, because it was the minister and Nation of Islam, and then the Baptist preacher, that one of those girls like, yeah, I want to preach it. No, I never did.
Right, right. No, and I was married to two preachers, so
Right.
people were asking me basically the same thing. Were you going after preachers? And I'm like, hell no, I didn't even want a preacher man. Like that
Right.
was last on my list. I didn't want a preacher, and I didn't want a drug dealer.
That part. Right. Exactly.
Give me something in between.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, when I first met my ex-husband, I thought he was like a thug. It was in a restaurant. He was sitting cut, with a
Okay.
hat on his head, you
Hmm.
know, and I was attracted to that masculine part of him.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, it was that I learned that he was, a pastor.
Okay, okay, okay. So, like, how'd you get into the relationship? Did you like, because I know you, did you like give him that little shoulder thing? Did you give him that eye? What you do? What you do, girl?
Listen. Um, I met him. I was a press secretary for one of the conventions,
Okay,
Baptist conventions, and we were actually doing a press conference, and I was press secretary.
okay,
And he just started talking to me, and he also knew the president of the organization at the time,
okay,
and it just and he said, hey, I have some ideas, and I'm like, okay, I would love to hear your ideas.
okay,
He was very charismatic as well, so
okay, okay, okay.
yeah, so yeah, we had lunch and talked, and I thought, wow, nice man.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
and and then I learned like who he was for real, and I was like, oh my God.
Okay.
Um,
So did you learn who he was before marriage or after marriage? Did you ignore like the red flags, or like what was you doing? Was you like he gonna change? My coochie gonna change him. I got that whipper cat.
girl, what's that song? I make you put your phone down.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up after this because
Right.
I ain't here.
uh,
That's
or the
snap a cat, snap a cat.
yeah, or the game changer.
Okay,
I
okay.
I change the game on you. We always think those things about ourselves, right?
Right,
Um,
right.
but yeah, like I said, he was just as charismatic and
Okay,
did all the right things. We
okay,
lived in separate, I lived in Chicago, he lived in California,
okay,
so, that commuter thing. So it was good when it was good.
okay, okay. So,
Yeah.
how long was it good, and when did it turn bad?
Well, I think, during the courtship process, it's always amazing, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then, the wedding day got kind of weird. And then probably 6 months later, I was like, okay, I don't know if this is the same person,
Okay,
that I was dating and courting. But now you're embarrassed because, you moved across country.
okay.
You did all the things, you thought were the thing to do to make this right.
So,
So,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you said the
no, go ahead.
wedding day was weird. So I'm like, well, what happened on the wedding day, girl? Like, was that your
Listen,
cue from God to be like, bitch, you better pull out?
right, right. It was kind of after you said I do.
Okay.
And, sometimes people try to isolate you from, your friends or
Yeah.
like, so it was kind of like that kind of weird thing. Like
Okay.
I'm the guy, I'm with you now kind of
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that it was heading to like abuse control? Because people tend to isolate
Yeah.
you for and then become abusive. Like first it might be like, okay, I'm going to talk to her this way, and
Hmm.
see how far they can go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think sometimes it's, like that what do they say, the pimp mentality.
Yes.
You give them, you give them this, you give them that, and then you
Mhm.
pull back and make them want it. you
You know what? So one of my homegirls was telling me that one of her employers would do that
yeah.
to the young girls, like give them
Yep.
everything, take them shopping, whatever, and then yank it back.
Yep.
What do you think that's all about right there? Because that's like, that could be traumatizing.
It could, and sometimes you wonder, like, narcissist.
Hmm.
Um, is this about control? Is it about, what is it about?
Hmm.
And sometimes you internalize and you say, well, damn, is it me?
Okay.
Am I enough?
Okay.
Um, and it makes you doubt yourself sometimes.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think, that kind of emotional abuse
Okay.
is sometimes prevalent in those kinds of situations.
Okay.
Um, you know, I, I I don't know. I can't say that he didn't love me. I can't say that he wasn't trying.
Okay.
We were missing the mark.
So where did it go wrong? And did y'all have like marital counseling ahead? Like, yeah, ahead of time or before? Or did you all feel like, hey, we grown, we already been through this. Let's just do it. Like, when did everything turn?
Um, I think, I think for me, even though I had been in church all my life, right?
Yes.
I, there's not, I know pastors go to school and they go for various trainings, and
Yes.
they have all these things that prepare them for their role, right? Because it's a
Mhm.
role.
Okay.
Um, and there's no training for us, how to deal with, we're women, and sometimes, when we're with our men, it's the softer side of us, right? Even
Yes.
though we're strong women, we want to be soft around our
Yeah.
man. And, it wasn't easy for me with pastor gives the best hugs, and, you know, um, all the compliments to all the women and all the bear hugs, and,
Okay.
like, what? Wait.
So
So,
go ahead, keep going.
no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So and this isn't pointing fingers, and this is just a question, okay?
Of
So
course.
was it your insecurities, or was he literally like going out his way to be overly friendly with these women?
Um, I think it could have been like my insecurities
Okay.
that, I didn't know I had,
Okay.
because all of this was new to me.
Okay.
Um, and the emotions and the feelings, they were all new.
Okay.
Like I never felt like I had to share my man with like the world or with.
Girl, when you marry a pastor, you sharing
Girl,
the world.
listen, I'm just telling you
Did
how I
did
felt.
you marry the role, or did you marry the man?
I married the man.
Okay.
I married the man, and then, all the because he's also like a college professor, right? An
Okay.
adjunct, and so just people everywhere.
Okay. You weren't used to that.
No, I wasn't. And then, for me, home was like my sanctuary,
Okay.
and to be in a situation where you have to invite all these strangers into your home and all these spirits, and it was like it was a lot, and
Girl,
so I
I
think,
already know.
yeah, it was a lot. And yes, you lose your sense of security sometimes. I mean, I
Yes.
was a powerhouse at work, I'm a
Right.
hospital executive and all of this, and then but then when I go home, I'm like, am I attractive? All the
Okay.
things that you think of.
But just knowing you and knowing how
Yeah.
you carry yourself, and
Yes.
you know how pretty, and all of that, like it.
You're kind, you're
I,
sweet.
no, no, but I'm serious. I don't understand how you were insecure when you came home, when you're the it girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, it will sneak up on you.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how great you think you are or how great
Okay.
you actually are.
Yes.
Outside of the home. I mean, home has to be your sanctuary, your place of peace.
Right.
Um,
Right.
where you can be vulnerable. Um, and sometimes, we miss the mark. I always think about, the five love languages, right?
Okay. Yes.
And that's why I can honestly say, I can't say that he didn't love me, right?
Okay.
Because after the divorce, I learned about the love languages, and I could see very clearly, his love language was, at the time, was, acts of service and
Okay.
words of affirmation,
Okay.
right? And mine was, or is, um, physical touch
Okay.
and quality time,
Okay.
right? So whereas, I want you to go to bed with me at night, he was, well, I have work to do, and he's on phone calls with either students or parishioners or, you know, um,
Okay.
but he would run my bath water every morning, make
Oh,
coffee, bring it upstairs and bring my
girl.
coffee, Right. That's what I'm saying. The acts of service.
So my question is, what went wrong? Because he was treating you like a queen, it sounds like, right? So I don't want to diminish anything,
Right.
right? But he's treating you like a queen, but he's also being the man of God that, quote
The
unquote, he was.
pastoral.
Right.
Yeah.
So where was the disconnect? Because to me, it just seemed like it could have been salvageable.
I think it could have been, but I think oftentimes, when men make up their minds, like I wasn't giving him kind of words of affirmation.
Okay.
I'm like, um so how was your day? And I'm talking, 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 trying to have quality time, right? But I'm not
Okay.
using the right words. And so
Okay.
if the phone rings and it's somebody on the phone, like, oh my God, Pastor, I love you. You
Hmm.
help me. You're the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Okay.
He would rather talk to them than talk to me.
So you weren't telling him how great he was. I'm trying to understand because
I know.
no, I'm trying to understand because you are a preacher's ex, right?
Yes.
And I remember when we did our filming. That's what I'm gonna
Yes.
say. And I know the ladies would throw themselves at him,
Yeah.
but was he like returning the favor? Like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I think, from my perspective, from
okay,
my eyes, I thought some things were disrespectful, or
okay,
it could
like
have been
what?
um like the full body hugs.
Okay, you think
Right.
that he should have gave like the church hug.
That part. Yes.
Okay, as opposed to the titty hug, titty up
Right.
on my man hug.
Right, right.
Get your
Or
titties off my man.
right. Or I think I told you, like, women would sit there with their legs open
Yeah.
and with short stuff on, and I would go and and from what I've seen on TV, I'd put a little
With the
thing on their
blanket.
lap. Yeah, girl.
You ain't slept a hoe.
Right.
You know,
And
had a church on fire. They be like, I'm
girl,
scared of her.
right. And he would get so mad at me, like, that's not your place, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, why not?
Right,
Like,
that is your place. You're the mother of the church, first lady, right?
right,
Yeah.
right,
So that's who
right.
normally does that, correct?
Listen, that's what I thought. But no, that wasn't what he wanted from me, right? Like,
Okay.
he's like, I got this, and I'm like, well, I'm uncomfortable with it, right?
Right.
So
I would be too. I think any woman in her right mind.
yeah, so I think, at some point it felt like he began to resent me, right? For so many reasons,
Okay.
like I was the primary breadwinner of the family.
Okay.
um you know and I would say silly things to him, like, hey, when are you gonna pick up this ball? And he would
Girl. So I literally before we jumped on this podcast, I did a podcast for Five Times Wife,
yeah,
and I talk about this same thing.
yes, but and then he would get pissed, like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're not taking care of me, you know uh,
But you were, right?
basically.
So men, let me tell y'all, you gotta provide because women ain't going for that. Not
Not
too long. It
forever.
might be cute in the beginning, right?
Yes.
But after a
Yes.
while, you like, nigga, you better pick up the slack. Like
That part.
yeah, you ain't
That
pimping
part.
me.
That part.
And the women got their legs open.
Right. Right.
Hell to the no, nigga.
Right. Right.
Oh, girl, I
So
would have been mad.
yeah, I was. And so I think that's kind of where, the beginning of the end,
Okay.
because he was resentful, or that's how it felt to me.
I would have
Like,
resented you too, talking about when you gonna pick up the slack.
right.
I would have. I would have.
I'm like,
You
shit,
know,
I work hard for the money.
right?
Like,
Well, you know, that's kind of calling him like lazy, kind of like you're a bum. Like, I think that's the interpretation I would take it as.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But I get
Yeah.
it. I get it as a
Listen,
woman.
I'm just telling you from my perspective.
Yeah, yeah, and I
I can't
appreciate
I
it.
can't talk about how he felt with the
Right.
words that I used, but I can tell you I wasn't speaking his love language,
Okay, okay.
right? And he wasn't speaking mine. Okay?
But it's funny because in all honesty, that's what men don't understand is that when the woman is the provider,
Yeah.
there is going to be eventually some resentment from her side
Yeah.
looking at you cockeyed or crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you looking at him like,
After a while, at first the romance stage, right? When you say, well,
okay,
what God didn't bless him with, he blessed me with,
okay,
so we come into the table, um, you know, um, with the total package between the two of us or whatever.
okay,
Whatever you
okay,
think in the romance stage, right?
okay, okay.
But then, after a while, it's like, really?
So it's fair to say that you knew that you were going in as the breadwinner.
I did.
Okay, and you were
I
okay
did.
with that in the beginning.
I was.
So did you all
Hmm.
have a conversation like, okay, I'm gonna give you this amount of time to surpass me in the financial arena where you can take over as the provider?
No, no. So
Okay.
that's one of the other things that I learned, after all of this is, expectations need to be known and
Okay.
agreed upon, right?
Right.
And so when you don't put the expectations on the table, then, everybody walks away with unmet expectations. But
Right.
which is unfair to both parties because they were never put on the table and known or unknown. Like, for example, I would say to him, one thing I would say, like, hey, dude, like, can you just take care of my car? Like, I don't want to wash it. I don't want to take it to the car
You would
wash.
have to ask.
I don't want to do anything. Well, first of all, he didn't agree to it. Like,
Oh wow.
no, I'm not doing all of that, right?
Are you serious? Was he driving it?
No, not my car. He had his own
Okay,
car.
but the fact that you're his wife,
Yeah,
and that's the least. I mean, thank you for the bath water. Thank
right,
you for my coffee, my tea in the morning.
right.
What about changing my oil? What about, washing the
Making
car?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. Or going to bed with me at night. How about that?
Okay, so how about laying down with you until you go to sleep and then getting back up to work? Is that
Yeah,
okay? Okay.
yeah, that would work. That
Okay,
would work.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, wow. No, no, this is so interesting because I'm actually learning more about you and
Yeah.
about the marriage than I actually knew.
Yes. Yes.
So I want to ask you about the convention, right? The
Yeah.
Baptist, is it Southern Baptist Convention?
It was no, not Southern.
National.
National.
So I used to be a part of another denomination,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And at the conferences, there was a lot of sleeping around.
Girl.
Child. Allegedly.
Right. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes. Yes.
And same thing there.
Girl, listen. Stuff be happening all over. Yes. Yes. And
Wow.
it was funny. I often tell people, people close to me, I worked for a congressman as well, right?
Yes, I
And
remember.
yes. And so I used to go to the Congressional Black Caucus, right?
Okay.
And so I was I was like shocked. I was like, well, damn. The Baptist convention don't look any different than the Congressional Black
Isn't
Caucus
that
convention.
interesting? Like, did that put a bad taste in your mouth as someone who really loves God, right? And
Yeah.
then to see some of your leaders acting out of order or acting different from what they preach.
So it
And
it
did you get some
actually
at the convention?
what? What
Did you
what?
get did you get some at the convention?
Girl, what you talking about, Willis?
Were you up in them rooms, girl?
Girl, listen, no ma'am. No ma'am. I was working. I was working,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay, okay. I'm gonna take your word for it, my lady. I'm gonna take
I
your
was
word.
I was working.
Okay.
But what it actually made me see was like we're all human,
Okay.
right? Like you can't put anybody on a pedestal. You
Okay.
know, these men are men first, and
Okay.
these women are women first, right? And so whatever position they hold, what role they play, it's secondary to being a man or a woman. And it
Wow.
really kind of humanized everybody for me.
It didn't put a bad taste in your mouth, like when people are up preaching, right? Like say some of
Yeah.
your leaders, they're preaching and they're preaching against lying or fornicating, whatever it is.
Mhm.
And you like, but you was just
So listen, God can use anybody.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
Totally.
and so it did not put a bad taste in my mouth. It really just humanized everybody. And and the Bible for me says the way that they know you are my disciples is that you have love one for the other, right? And it says
Okay.
all have sinned, not y'all, but
Right.
all have sinned and come short, right? Um so I just try not to judge, But
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 is it
my
but
I'm sorry.
you go, you go.
My conversation today is probably a lot different than the conversations we had during filming
Okay.
because I was still in it, I believe.
Okay. Okay.
I was still in the pain of it all,
Okay. Okay.
right? Whereas now I'm on the other side of it, and
Okay.
and I can just appreciate the experience. I can appreciate where I am today and what it did for me and how
Yes.
I've grown as a result of it. So I know you're probably thinking like this heifer had a different story when we was filming.
No, 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 no. Because I've grown too. So
Yes.
back then,
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare have talked to a preacher, a pastor, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I actually have a pastor on my team.
Yeah.
So that would not have been that
Yeah.
back then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, what about the accountability? I understand that you're a man. I
Yeah.
understand you're a woman. I understand that we're human first. I do understand that it's a role.
Yeah.
But in the role, right?
Yeah.
What about the accountability?
Yeah.
Um, because you have so many other people
Yeah. Watching.
watching.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is why a lot of young people
Yeah.
don't go to church. Like right before COVID, statistically speaking, 32 million people left the church.
Right.
And a lot of young people won't go to church because they're like, well, if they're doing it, why do I have to go to church? Like they're doing the same thing that the world is doing. So that's why I'm trying to get clarity. And even the Bible says there's a special place in hell for leaders.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So that's right. So that's why I'm trying to get, clarity
Yeah.
on your way of thinking because you're
Yeah.
saying, well, they're human first, but what about the accountability? One to God,
Yeah.
right? And then one to the people that you're leading. So that's what I'm really curious about.
So I've learned not to judge
Right.
because we just
Judge
don't have
not, lest ye be judged.
and we don't have enough information to judge, right? We judge,
If
I
I
believe.
know a pastor out there slinging his dick, okay. He constantly slinging a dick, and not only to his wife,
Listen.
But we
But if
see it.
right, but if you know it, other people know it too, right?
Right.
And if people still choose to follow these people,
Hmm.
then that's on them.
That's true.
The onus, even so my ex-husband has married two times since we've been divorced,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And still has a congregation. And and that's fine.
Can you
You know what
say
I'm
his
saying?
name
I'm not saying that man's name.
so the people could go look him up?
Uh-uh. I am not saying that man's name. But I'm just saying, that's okay. I don't know where he is today.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know, you know, how he is in his relationships. Just like I learned some things, he probably learned some things too.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And so I'm not trying to defame anybody,
Right. Right. It's
him
not
or the
defaming.
church.
It's not defaming because
Right.
that's not who I am and that's not my character.
And I know that too.
But just to acknowledge the fact that a lot of these people shouldn't be in the pulpit.
Well,
But then who would be, right?
yeah, right.
Girl, I'm thinking about going back to Creed.
Listen, who am I? Who
Oh,
am I?
wait a minute. You like,
I'm coming to
listen,
your church. I'm coming to your church because I know
baby,
you're
y'all
gonna be
gonna be some margarita
right, right,
dancing, loving God folk.
right, right. That part.
Okay, y'all gonna be like, ooh, yeah, I love Jesus. Back that thing up.
I know. I'm coming to your church. So you go ahead and do that.
A lot of people be coming. They be like, oh, I like that church. We do love God though, y'all.
That part. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
You know? But no, seriously, and I don't even have an issue with people being themselves, right?
Right.
My issue is if you're doing it, just
Yeah.
be like, I'm a fornicating pastor, y'all. I'm
Mm.
trying to get it together.
Right.
Y'all can stay or y'all can leave.
That part. Well,
That's all.
I think he used to say things like, you know, if you see me here, or if you
Okay.
see me in the club, if you see me at the casino, wherever you see me, you can speak to me because I'm not hiding.
Hiding, right. Like
You know what I'm saying?
literally, I know pastors that hide to go and sneak a drink and I'm
Right.
like,
I've
you're
seen
too
that.
old for that.
Yeah, like why?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So he never hid who he was,
Okay.
you
And
know?
you know what's interesting as we're talking, like God rolled with sinners.
Absolutely. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. The worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think we got a lot of narcissists
Oh yeah.
on the pulpit.
Oh yeah.
I'm all
Oh
right
yeah.
with the prostitute and the pimp. I'm all right with them. I
Yeah.
just want people to be honest.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. I agree with that. And that's difficult. That's a
Yeah.
higher level of understanding of life. That's a
Hmm.
higher level of understanding of self.
Okay,
We're not all on the same level.
that's true.
Um, and I mean, I manage a team of people and everybody's not the same.
Yes.
So, and then the different generations and how we think and what we do
Okay.
and how we learn, all those things come into account, right?
Yes.
When you look at people and kind of how they move.
Okay.
So I try not to judge. It was an experience.
Okay.
Um, it was painful.
Yes.
But I'm on the other side of it and I'm grateful.
What did you learn out of the experience? What did you gain too?
So I think the biggest thing I learned was, we attract who we are, where we
Okay.
are,
Okay.
right? In the moment. And I learned that sickness attracts sickness,
That's
and and
true.
and healthiness attracts healthiness, right?
Yes.
So in my sickness, I attracted whatever that sickness was in him, right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think that was the biggest takeaway, right?
Okay.
And then I think, God truly birthed this thing in me, this light.
Okay.
Um and I'm doing ministry like everywhere I go, like
Oh,
just
I love
lifting
it.
people up, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes.
And even using my voice as an instrument. Really, I did these developing a lifestyle of forgiveness workshops and love and relationships workshops.
I love it.
And yeah, and the funny thing about those things is, a very wise another preacher,
Okay.
um the husband of a friend of mine, he said to me once, he said, and it just, and the light came on. He said that we teach best what we need most.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Yeah, and that resonated with me when I thought about, I'm doing this stuff about forgiveness and
Okay.
love and relationships. And, when you are facilitating projects and workshops, you are the first student, right? Because
Yes. Yes.
you have to learn it and absorb it for yourself
Yes.
before you can push it out to someone else. So I think that's kind of what I gained from all of it, and just really loving myself and
Yeah.
you know going to therapy.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yes,
Do you
going to
still
therapy.
go or
I don't
okay.
currently. But the other thing that, I would want other women to know is, never allow people to put time constraints on you. You know
Yeah.
how your friends will say, "Oh, girl, you should be over that by now.
Yeah, yeah.
Girl, you need to just move on." Right? When you truly love somebody, it just doesn't dissipate because you separate.
Right.
There's the 3 degrees of separation, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual, right?
Yes.
And so the spiritual connection is the hardest one to separate from.
Yes.
So, people would always say, "Oh, girl, get over it, right? Move on." But it takes a minute, and
Yeah.
and it's in your own time, based on, how we process things.
Yes. I think for people to say that to you or anyone else as they're going through quote unquote a death, because that's really what it is.
It
I think
absolutely is.
I think that they lack compassion,
Yeah, yeah, and that,
and empathy.
yeah, yeah, and because it is a grieving process. It's the same process.
Yes, yes. Are you dating now?
I wish I was, but I'm not.
Oh, why not? Are you wait a minute? Do you go to church?
Girl, I work on Sundays.
Okay, yeah, you said that. You said
Yeah,
that.
I work on Sundays. I live in New York now. I don't really
Ooh,
have friends. I don't have friends yet,
why?
because I go to work, I go home,
Okay,
I go out to dinners by myself or with family.
okay.
But so I'm waiting for somebody to hook me up, girl. What you got?
So
I tried dating apps,
I was
but
going to ask you about that.
that doesn't work for me.
Okay,
If somebody can lie to me in my face, I know they can lie to me online.
right. Do you date out the country?
Uh, I have not, but I'm not. I'm open. I'm open to possibilities.
Would you date a younger man? Make your toes curl?
I always have. I always have.
I know someone who's a widower.
Hmm.
He needs a little time, just a little bit, not too much.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, girl.
yeah. You know,
Okay.
I'm gonna tell him too.
Tell him I got somebody for you. I got flying benefits, so
Okay, 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 okay. We'll talk on camera about that.
that part.
Now he does have kids. Is that
Mhm.
okay?
I mean, I have kids, but they're adults.
They're younger. I don't know how young.
Hmm. Well, really, it's a matter of the heart. It's a heart thing.
Okay.
So it depends on him and, his heart and his
And
spirit.
you. Cause
Yeah.
you might not, you might be like, shit, I ain't taking care of nobody kids. I'm too old for this shit.
Well, yeah, if they that little, it
We
might be a
gonna need a
problem.
nanny for this.
Right, that part. Yes. Yes, you're right.
So, to the men who are out here listening, my fabulous friend Trish wants or needs. Do you want or need?
Need
She need a man.
that part.
She needs someone to make her toes curl.
All of that.
So I'm just so excited for you and just having you here and your new look because you had the short black
I
hair.
did. I did.
Yes, honey.
Yes.
Still fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I know you do leadership,
Yeah.
right? And
Hmm.
you're speaking and things like that. What's next for you?
Ooh. I really want to do the relationship thing again.
Okay.
I would love to do that again. It was
Okay.
so rewarding, and people were so engaging and loving it.
Okay.
So I would love to do that again.
What do you have to offer as a woman? And not putting you on the spot, but someone's going to hear it.
Yeah. What do I have to offer?
Yeah.
I think what's most important is healthiness.
Okay.
Healthiness and emotion, emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Um, I think that kind of is paramount for me,
Okay.
to also have someone who's healthy, who's on the
Okay.
other side of whatever that thing was that they went through, right?
Okay.
And so I think the wisdom of life experiences,
Okay.
and I'm cute.
You are fat now. I have to ask you, nationality, race, does that matter in
It
this?
does not. No, ma'am.
Okay. You're not turned off by white men. And the reason I say that,
Hmm.
what just happened with Ashley Janae. And
Yeah, yeah,
so
yes,
I have to throw that out there.
yeah. You know, I'm not I'm not thrown off by that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just turning up spirit. You have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know.
Listen.
So, where can people find you on the internet? How could they get in contact with you if they want to reach out?
So I'm on Facebook and Insta, Trish Van Hook. Um, that's probably, DM me.
Okay. Y'all hear that, man? Y'all hear that? ZM my girl. So, is there an age limit?
Whew. Uh, I don't want to put any limits on anything. Let's,
I love that.
yeah, yeah,
You're just so like open and just flowing.
yes, yes, yes. Because, you know, life is good and God is good. And, people are leaving here every day, right?
Isn't that crazy?
It really is. It really is. My dad called me last night to tell me that, a friend of his, this woman that he brought to my house for
Okay.
Thanksgiving, passed away. I'm like, what?
I'm
You,
sorry to hear that.
yeah, thank you. Like
You're welcome.
50 years old. Um,
Wow. That's
yeah, so, I have these uh, gratefulness cards, right? And it says gratitude turns what we have into enough.
yes.
And
Yes.
so I try to remain open and remain grateful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I love that.
Thank
Well,
you.
I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't go anywhere yet. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Grayson, this stage with your presence, your energy, your
Mhm.
smile, your beauty, and your story.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you for like just flowing in the conversation
Yeah,
with me. Thank you for being a part of the cast of Preachers Exes,
yes,
bringing your energy there. I'm very appreciative.
yes,
You
yes.
know, to the listening audience, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in for another episode of Preachers Exes Podcast. It all began with this book. Oh, let me move that. This
I
book
remember
right
that.
here. Yes, 3 p.m. The Preacher, the Power, the Penis, and me. Yes, I said the penis. I like penis.
That part,
Okay.
me too. Yes.
This book was my healing journey and just my experience, and my growth. So
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to everyone. I wish you a blessed week. If you would like to be on the podcast, whether you're a preacher's ex, a preacher, a pastor, evangelist, anyone with a story to share that we can shed insight and enlighten our audience, that would be amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hmm.
You can DM us or you can reach out to hello at CheronKGriffin.com and we surely will respond. Thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Don't